Hello everyone, I have decided to make a video as opposed to writing everything out on Facebook. I want to start talking about Pike County, and I want to talk about what has happened over the last week. My friend Lindsay calls me. It's late, 7, 8 o'clock at night. The ASPLA people had been there to cut trees off of her abandoned neighbor's power lines, and they hear animals inside the home. She calls the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department says, we can't help you. You have to go through the dog pound. So I know under section 1717.13, you can go into an abandoned structure and put food and water out for the animals. Or if necessary, you can remove them from the home. So instead of leaving there another night in sweltering heat, I go and I open a window that was not locked, and in the window is a bird cage. The bird's water is literally like Jello. There's no food. There's a dog hanging from the windowsill with his toenails curled under. Sorry, my video cut off. So I take the dog and I take the bird with me. It's an African gray. It's a very expensive bird for sure. I get them settled at home. The very next morning, 9:30, I call the sheriff's department. I tell them that I've taken these animals from this home. There's likely more animals there I could not see, but the smell and the filth that these animals were in, like, now this should be neglect and abuse. They tell me, I can't help you. You have to call the dog pound. I call the dog pound. David answers the phone. I don't know David, but very disappointed. David tells me that he knows the owner and he went to school with him, and that he's for sure that the owner does come there because he was just there a week or so ago. Next thing I know, now the sheriff's department obviously could not help me, but now the sheriff's department is calling me saying that you need to bring the animals in and give a statement. At this time, the Charlie Brown Rescue from Columbus was on their way and they're coming to assess the bird. They do eventually make it to the house, and I tell them that the sheriff's department is now called and we cannot let the bird go with them that was immediately going to the veterinary clinic. So after that, I'm talking to the sheriff's department, really not wanting to take the animals, because at this point I feel that it's not a good situation for the animals, but you know, they're making threats to me, so I have to take the animals in. At this time, they read me my rights because now I'm considered breaking and entering. I tried to tell them, no, I haven't broken any law, but it doesn't matter. They don't care. They're going off of what David is saying, and they tell me that the pound is coming and that I needed to wait there until they got there. They also referred to the owner of the home as the victim. Actually, the victims were in my car. So the dog pound gets there. It consists of Pike Pet Pals Julie and David and some other man, I do not know his name. They take the bird cage. They take the bird cage out of the car, and David takes the blanket off, and he keeps poking his knuckle into the cage, making the bird bite him. This is an incredibly stressed out bird. The Charlie Brown Rescue has said this bird is very sick. This bird needs help. This bird has been cooped up into a home with no electricity. I mean, it was in bad shape. It's been drinking contaminated jelly water, no food. They don't even mention the dog as just showing nothing but bones. And Julie says, this is a very expensive bird, and we can't house this at the pound. And I said, well, would you like me to take the bird back? Like, I've been instructed of what to give the bird. And she looks right at me and she says, this is not your bird. This bird has an owner. The whole time, David keeps sticking his knuckle into the cage with an extremely stressed out bird, making it bite his knuckle. And I'm trying to tell them this is what the Charlie Brown Rescue is saying to feed them. And David replies, wonderful, likes Copenhagen. Wowza. So they take the animals, and now at this point, the victim has now said he is missing items from his home. So now they're doing an investigation again that I have made some theft of this absolute pigsty of a home. And I'm going to share all those pictures and videos in underneath the comments. I guess I'm mainly saying this because I'm super disappointed, and to my knowledge, the bird and the dog are still being housed at the pound. This is not an appropriate place for this bird. This bird needs rescue, not the dog pound, not a very stressful situation. I've reached out to Julie to ask, what is the medical state of these animals, and no response, no reply. Now, at this point, I think I'm being charged with, well, not yet, but theft and breaking and entering. Just craziest thing ever. How are you going to charge me with these things when I have not broken a law? And to my knowledge, they still haven't went to the, and I'm sorry, my video keeps cutting off, but they still have not went to the home. They have still not went and checked out the home for other animals. And even if there were other animals in there, they're probably gone by now because they've alerted the owner. They've not went and done the proper investigation of abuse and neglect. This is absolutely ludicrous. I guess I'm just writing it all out here because I want your comments, your opinions, and, if I do get arrested for this, I'm going to go to Channel 6 News because this is not right. The system definitely failed these animals. These are the victims. They're still not being taken care of. And David made it very clear to me, these animals have a home and they very much can go back to the owner before they even assessed the dog or the bird. Now, that is pretty insane. I'm not saying that David and Julie do not do good things for Pike County. I don't know. I don't know them personally. But I do know in this situation, they definitely failed these animals. They are not, or they should not ever be given back to this owner. Anyways, thank you for listening.